7 o'clock on the dot. I am ready. Are you ready? It's Thursday night in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Patrick Morrison here in the booth and for Simtrax Broadcast and the Coast to Coast Racing Network welcomes you to the UMP division starting out tonight. Brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, the one and only. We got a heck of a show here for you tonight. Flatline Racing Bodies Thursday Night Thunder Series. We're going to be running the fixed UMPM division, the fixed 358s, and the Pro Late models. So a lot of these guys kind of waiting to get into those faster cars later on. UMPs are going to be one of the tougher ones to start out with tonight as we get this one kind of underway. These guys are making sure they get a good feel out for the track. I believe Nick Vickery, Templeton, and these guys are getting in a few quick extra laps here toward the end. Well, make sure we give a little shout out here to Cool Ray AC Heating Cooling and Roger Craig Racing for their terrific sponsorship that they have for this league out here. Man, I'm excited. Normally Marty is here with you guys on Thursdays, but I'm going to be covering for him here in the Thursday Night Thunder. Man, I believe you guys have joined me before, and you kind of know what we're getting ready to get into here. And that's a lot of fast racing from these guys out here on the track. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek here. Let's see what the racetrack is looking like here as we get our way onto the track. Some people call it Lima Land. Some people call it Lima Land. I'm going to stick with Lima here because I'm probably an idiot. But 80 degrees in the air tonight. Looks like 91 down on the track. We're going to be racing on just about a quarter of a mile. Nothing is going to change other than the way the track is breaking down here tonight. We are going to be staying here all night for all three divisions. So good for the drivers. I believe if any of you guys tuned in before, we were at Lernerville. We were at Weed Sport, and there was another location. And that was a switch up for those drivers, just not having as much confidence being able to get around the track, with it changing as often as it was. But we're taking a little look here at Brandon Templeton, see how well he gets a good placement here. Looks like so far Brandon Templeton is sitting on the pole with a 1297. So far, it looks like only 7 guys right now are really considering getting out there. Got about another minute and a half to get out there and get going here. Trying to see if we got anybody else who's considering. There's somebody. Looks like Lance Ripka is going to go ahead and put down his qualifying lap. First one, now he's up into third. Oh, quickly bumped out there by Joseph Grandy in the 518. Yeah, pretty good little track here. And with it being so small, this is going to be... it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I'm curious to see who all can get their way up front. Let's go ahead and look over top of what happened last week. Nick Vickery went ahead and won the race last week. Joseph Grandy came in second, and Malachi Smith in third. So Brandon Templeton, our pole sitter here, he actually finished 4th place last week. But Brandon Templeton is actually sitting 3rd in the points. So if he can actually secure this one and get his first win here in the UMP division, that is going to be very critical for his points charge here tonight. Got 12 guys out here looking to see what they can do out here in the UMPs. Looks like 3 of them have yet to try. Andrew Embach here, Isaac Salas, David Tormashki in the 33. So kind of what the times we see up there is how it looks like they're going to be starting these heats here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and get right live. Right, that is going to bring it up. Here we go. So our first heat. Let's get her gridded up here. Jeff Barker up here in the front. Jeff Barker, Lance Ripka, Joseph Grandy, Brandon Templeton, Steven Spees, and David Tormashki. I hope I'm saying that right, bud. A lot of fast drivers actually in this stack up right here. Look at that. I know between Templeton, Grandy, and Spees, that is going to be a heck of a shootout. I haven't seen the 33 machine. So we'll see how he gets going. You can't miss Joseph Grandy. He's got the wild 518. It looks like David might have missed it. Yeah, might have missed that start, so it's just going to be the 5 of these guys out here on the track. Alright, let's go ahead and get it done. Once again, this brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies here tonight. For that Thursday Night Thunder League. I'm sure you guys had a long day of work out there today, but man, what a great way to settle in here. Simtrax Broadcast and the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and really watch these guys put it down here at the dirt track. Let's see what Jeff Barker and Ripka have for us up here in the front row. Ooh. Grandy, look at that shot toward the center. Man, that was something. Grandy really starting to kind of peek in, take a shot there toward the bottom as they get going around the track here. Grandy still holding back there in about third, fourth position, working his way around. Oh boy, and that's one thing about these UMPs. It just seems like such a big body and not enough engine to get really slung around here. This thing only being a quarter of a mile, I mean, this is going to be kind of a smaller track. I'll kind of take a look at it here from the spotter position where you see me up here in the booth. Is, you know, there's hardly any point these guys are trying to stay straight. So imagine getting to those pro late models and the 358 division where Isaac Salas is owning. But right now, Jeff Barker out here leading the charge. Lance Ripka here in the 25, trying to see if he can get anything done there. Brandon Templeton still working on the outside of Grandy here. I don't know if there's anything for him. Lance Ripka's trying that front end, picking up that left front tire, diving in as hard as he can to get it going around here. Good battles back and forth here on the racetrack. Oh boy. Looks like Lance Ripka's still in second place here. Really, I'm starting to notice that battle kind of heating up here, really, with actually, not just for the lead, but actually back here with Grandy. Grandy and Templeton here, these two guys in the 31 and that 518 are just kind of tossing it back and forth here. Brad, you know, Templeton's got him on the straightaway, but then Grandy kind of edges him out on the corner. But right as I say that, Grandy gets bound up there by Templeton. Or actually bound up by Ripka there, and that's going to go ahead and bring Barker, Ripka, Templeton, Grandy, and Spees 1 through 5. Let's get that second heat going. Get these guys out there on the track, gridded up. Get everybody feeling good about how tonight is going. A lot of fast drivers on this one as well, starting out in the front. Looks like we're going to have John Hine, Nick Vickery, 1 and 2. Aiden Young, 3. Randy Shreves in 4th. Isaac Salas in 5th. Says Andrew Embaugh here, but I do not see him cued in just yet. John Hines is going to go ahead and take away the lead here for this one in that 71 machine. No, he's feeling pretty confident. He was a little bit of a hiatus earlier in the week, but it looks like he is back. Go ahead and give this one. Heat 2 Race Designs. Magnum Race Designs will be our Heat 2 sponsor here. They offer iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Designs on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. Magnum Race Designs is a proud sponsor of the Coast to Coast Racing League 358 Modified Division. As we get going underway, John Hine goes ahead and gets a good jump there from the outside, and let them kind of stack it up here in the back. Let them fight it out while John Hine gets pulled around here. So he's enjoying this quarter-mile track right now at this point, as he still has 7 laps to get it done here left in the heat. Good moves by them back there. It looks like Isaac Salas kind of battling back here with Aiden Young in the 69. If you guys remember anything about Monday Night Madness when I was on there, Aiden Young, I mean, just being able to really put the hammer down. He can come from all the way at the back of the pack and still get a solid top 5. So don't count Aiden Young out at any point, and that Aiden Young is in that 69 machine that you see kind of putting around there in the back of the field here. With so little in this field, there will be no cutoffs here. Normally cutoff is our 4th place position. but everybody's going to make it in tonight. John Hines still really putting the moves on out front. If he races like this during the race, ooh! Aiden Young really gave a shot to the wall there. John Hine can, like I was saying, if John Hine can go ahead and stay free and clear out here in the front, he may have this win here tonight. Because so far, he's placing the fastest time so far. Nick Vickery also placed almost a 13 flat, as well as Randy Shreves with a 13.04 there. This one is winding down pretty quick here, ladies and gentlemen, as you can kind of see as we get going around here. Should be white flag is out. John Hine getting a little more pressure there from Nick Vickery in the 00. Vickery going to see if he can squeak there on the outside, but John Hine might just have the angle. If he can pull out of this one. Ooh. John Hine, Nick Vickery, Shreves, Isaac Salas, and Aiden Young. Whoa. They beat each other by 20 thousandths of a second there. That was a close one. That was a close one. All right, man, that is going to be awesome. That'll round up Heat 2 here. These guys are going to go ahead and flatten it out. And man, if you tell you what, if Flatline Racing Bodies isn't something. Flatline Racing Bodies covers Thursday Night Thunder. They are covering the UMP division, and they are also our... I call it an interim, kind of our 3-minute warm-up session here. And you know, if you don't know who Flatline Racing Body is, they are quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR regional short track champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. So, man, if you're interested in what he's got going on there, check out all the things he's got happening there at Flatline Racing Bodies. Alright, as these guys try to flat around the track. They only got about 2 minutes left here. Go ahead and see if they can undo what kind of happened there in the heats. You know, those heats ended up being a little weird for some. I hope Aiden Young has been able to get himself back together in the 69. He's the only one we saw take massive damage there, right there in that second heat. Everybody else seemed to kind of be A-okay and get their way around here. I don't know if the 410 and the 33 that I'm showing here, Emba and Tormashki here, are going to be out here racing here tonight. I don't know. I don't see anything in the penalty boxes that say they can't, but I'm wondering if they're saving it up for the feature. We'll take a peek in on that a little bit later on. Right now, Grandy, Salas, and Templeton. Right now, so far, the fastest out there during warm-ups. So Templeton's going to have to kind of buckle down. He was fastest in the qualifier. But now we've now got Grandy, who's almost putting a 10th second faster. Yeah, due to how they flip here in the feature, that is definitely going to determine where that is going to put, Vickery and Grandy. And Isaac Salas, look at that time, 12:93. Good job out of him. I believe he went ahead and took it back down pit here. A couple of you guys out there in the chat. I know you guys joined me a whole bunch here at Simtrax Broadcasting, and we're here at the Dirt Series for the Thursday Night Thunder. Tell me what you see going on out here. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Lima Land is where it's at here tonight. I mean, if any of you all are familiar with this track, tell me what you think about it. So, it's going to be a heck of a blast here tonight. Taking a look at Grandy right now, still the fastest out there, and that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for the warm-up. So that is going to immediately push us on over and get us gridding up here as these guys kind of get warm, finished up, cleaned off, get ready, and get back out there. Starting our night tonight, Jeff Barker and John Hine will be in the front row, followed by Brandon Templeton, Nick Vickery, Lance Ripka, and Randy Shreves. That'll be 5 and 6. Joseph Grandy, 7. Isaac Salas, 8th. Steven Spees will be 9th. Aiden Young will be in the 10th position. So good to see him making it back out here after that little bend up there. Malachi Smith will actually be in the 013 toward the back, and I do not see where the other guys are going to line up here. 410 and the 33, I do not believe they are in here for tonight. So this right here on your screen will be our lineup for tonight. I am unsure at this point. I think Jeff Barker and John Hine, these guys up here, being as fast as they are tonight. We'll see how well they do. Grandy and Vickery, the only ones with wins so far here in the UMP division. If any one of these two gentlemen up in the front row gets one, that'll be our third winner for 3 in 3 weeks. So it's good to have a good spread out of winners here. Well, let's see if John Hine's got anything for him on the outside line. As Jeff Barker there toward the inside, already getting about 3 wide there toward the back. Well, hopefully everybody is kind of able to calm down a little bit there, but man, really, when you only got 30 laps to go, you don't have time. Oh, Isaac Salas. Yeah, Aiden Young kind of pushes him around there. No caution at this point. So that is going to be a bad thing for these guys as they're getting ready to show up into that lap traffic. Let's take kind of a zoom out here. Look out. That is going to bring so far, what it shows to me is John Hine is going to start out in the lead here. Let's go ahead and take a peek back at Isaac Salas kind of getting bent up here. Isaac Salas getting caught up with that 56. See Grandy trying to find a hole, trying to let me out of here. Randy Shreve's not happy about it. Randy Shreve's still getting tangled up. Man, I can't believe it took that long actually to throw the caution out. You had 4 guys and 2 of them were backwards. This being a quarter-mile track, also keep in mind there's not a whole lot of time. We'll try to show you these replays here tonight as fast as absolutely possible. As you can already see, the pace car lights are off, so the pace car is going to duck on off. Double wide again. John Hine's going to start toward the inside. Nick Vickery on the outside. We know Jeff Barker started next to him before, but he's all the way back to the 4th place, so John Hine gets that favorable restart. Here we go. Trying to work that high line. Does John have enough speed to carry out of there? Yes, he does. Good move by him, staying out in front right now. How fast are these guys going? Right now, from what I'm seeing in my ticker, about a high speed of about 95 miles an hour is what John Hine just did. As he's getting around the track out there. Stella, I see you in the chat. Yep, about 95 miles an hour. We 358s on the Pro late models, I'm sure will go much, much faster. But really, it's a good warm-up, you know, especially for these guys who are going to be here all night in all 3 divisions. Good thing, start warming up with one of these and then get your way back to the rest of them. But let's take a look back here at Randy Shreves, who's kind of getting boxed in a little bit here behind Grandy. Grandy's there, and Ripka's kind of riding up the back end. Not really giving him any kind of room to back up the turn at all. So hopefully Randy Shreves here in the 56 is able to get his way around. Like Jeff Barker, man. He ran a fast time. I don't know if he's got something going on with the car there. We got a little smoke or something coming out of there. But unfortunately, Barker's kind of been on that back march here. Ooh, good move. Good move holding off in there. As we see up front, looks like Steven Spees is trying to make a move there on Aiden Young for the 4th position. These laps are kind of going away really quick. About 13 seconds a lap here, so super fast. Everybody kind of single filing it out here. Not really too many guys pushing it together. I wonder how Malachi's doing. Malachi back here on the outside in that 13 machine. Working on the outside of the 513 of Jeff Barker. But they're going to switch back and forth here a little bit for that 9th position. Doing pretty well out of Malachi here. Let's see if we're a little high into that turn. Yeah, and sometimes these tracks, when they start getting these more of that mixing bowl style, is trying to find enough speed to carry out of the turn and continue, rolling down the track here. We're going to take a little look, ride along here, actually, with Aiden Young. Now let's kind of see what you kind of see what I'm talking about here. And kind of just like that. And you see it's just, he only got about, 2 seconds of a little bit of pace pickup, and then after that he's dragging through the turn, trying to get his way pushed back forward. Grandy, I'm sure he's pretty, kind of beside himself at this point, especially with having a race win so far this year and leading the points with 160. Only 2 behind him is Vickery, but Vickery's up in the second position. So if Grandy can't get his way up here, I think he's going to be losing the lead here in the points, and Nick Vickery may go ahead and take it over here. John Hine, our race leader, he is actually our 6th place is where he's sitting right now. But right now, John Hine already got a half a second lead, so that is actually really, really good there for John Hine in the 71. Oh no, but Nick Vickery on his lid here. And caution. There we go. A little delayed here. Guess such a small track, it takes just a little bit here. So let's take a look here at Nick Vickery. Kind of figure out a better angle of what happened to Nick Vickery. Where in the world are you, Mr. Vickery? What happened? What in the world? We saw him racing, but here it is. It's kind of, there we go. Oh. Okay, so when you, I know, if you guys saw any part of that, did you see kind of where I've lost camera control of him here? He is actually lagged out so bad that I can't find him. And then when he finally shows up to 31, Brandon Templeton had no idea he was there. I think Nick Vickery had a massive disconnect on that for his 00, and Templeton, yeah, exactly, Stellar, blanked out of existence. So it kind of undid him there. So I'm sure we'll be back under green right now. Just trying to find that replay as fast as I can, but man, that was just as confusing for me. Seeing where Nick Vickery ended up. Nick Vickery, I believe that is going to secure him directly in a 10th place right now. Salas is out. So, all right, we only have about 9 drivers left back out here on the track. No issues so far. John Hine kind of under fire. Remember, I said Brandon Templeton had the fastest qualifying time. If he's going to do it, he kind of needs to do it now as this track wears down, starts slicking up a lot more. So, hopefully he will be able to get pushed around. I want to take a look here, actually, back to Lance Ripka real quick, see how he's doing there with Randy Shreves to be inside him in the 56. Oh, man, 25 hit a dirt clod. Oh, he hit the bumps. So now Ripka's kind of out of control there in the back. Now just got the slide by Malachi. There toward the back here. We only have about 5.5 laps to go. As we see the battle between Aiden Young and Templeton. I don't know. I think Aiden Young may have gotten into him there a little bit and pushed him up into the speed bumps that are now built up on the side of the track. So now the 69 of Aiden Young up 8 positions, all the way into the second, and now trying to run John Hine down. He's got about half a second to reel him in. But I think Templeton may want to try to get that spot back. I would have been real happy about that one. I'm not quite sure if they kind of connected. But actually, both of them kind of synchronized, clipped that wall there, going in turn 1. John Hine's going to go ahead and cross that finish line, bringing it 2 to go. White flag next time by. Brandon Templeton still putting the pressure on Aiden Young here, holding him toward that top line. John Hine's got the white flag out. Barney's going to have to put that flag away quick because the checker's going to be needed here very, very soon. Doesn't look like these two guys have got anything for him, but Brandon Templeton giving it everything he's got, trying to push it around. And we will go ahead. John Hine, Aiden Young, Brandon Templeton, Grandy, and Spees for our top 5. And those are the results up there on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get our guys collected. Where they need to be here. Super fast out of all these guys here tonight. I'm sure they're pumped up about what they got coming up next. The 358s. Those are going to be really moving there. Alright, give me just a moment. Let's make sure we can get all these guys kind of rounded up here and into the booth of what I'm looking for here. And our third place finisher was Brandon Templeton. Brandon Templeton, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man, dude, how was the race out there tonight? I wasn't sure how those last couple of laps went for you on that pass with Aiden Young.
Yeah, all I can say is tight. You know, the whole race we were all just inches apart and struggling for grip. You know, there wasn't much of it, and it was a little bit one lane there in the feature, but yeah, just really tight. You know, everyone did a pretty good job to stay off of each other as much as we did, and I don't know what happened there with Nick. You know, midway through the race, his car completely just disappeared on my screen for like a lap or two, and then he came back and he was like on top of me. So if that was something I did, I apologize, but it was nothing intentional. So.
No, absolutely not. We actually, from up here in the booth, I did roll it back there a little bit, trying to see if I could figure out what happened, and we lost him for half a lap, and then next thing we knew, he was on top of your hood. So, yeah, I would say at that point, you know, that was a connection problem, and seeing Vickery disconnected after that, I'm assuming it was probably definitely a connection issue. Unknown if it as with to deal with the hurricane. 358s are next, man. We got to get you warmed up and see if we can get you out there for your 31 machine. But go ahead and give me your shout-outs there, man.
I got to thank Dirt Track Bank, Got Your Six Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing Team, VMR Wraps, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, you for doing this, and everyone for putting it on with the league.
All right, great job, Brandon. We'll see you next round.
Thanks.
All right, Brandon Templeton, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and hop straight into our second place finisher, Aiden Young. Aiden Young, 8 places here so far tonight. Really, you seem to be the hard charger every time I see you. Is it kind of name of the game to start from the back and work your way to the front?
No, it's just, I guess it just works out that way.
All right, well, I notice sometimes you're qualifying time, and then every time I see you, you're outside the top 10 for a starter in the back 20, and you end up finishing a good, solid top 5. Walk me through that last pass, getting around Brandon Templeton there.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not a good slider person, but I was trying not to wreck my teammate and try to get by him without wrecking him.
All right, man. Still a good job out there tonight. Second place finish. We got the 358s coming up next. You're pretty excited about that? We're staying at this track.
I think it'll be a pretty good race.
All right, man. Well, go ahead and give me your shout-outs, and let's get on the road.
I just got to thank Cool Ray, as always, Young on Creation, you for broadcasting.
All right. Thanks, Aiden Young. You do a great job out there, bud, every time I see you.
Thank you.
Aiden Young, everybody, super fast out of him. But right now, John Hine, really the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who has all the speed here tonight. John Hine in the 71 machine. He is something fast here. John Hine, you got a copy on me here, man?
I sure do. How are you, man?
I'm beside myself at this point. I know you've been on a little bit of a hiatus lately, but here you come with being the third winner of the UMP division. How's it feel?
It's a relief. I'm getting up in that age where every season I start a season wondering, is this going to be the year where I go winless and that the skill level starting to erode, all that kind of stuff. So it's always good to knock that first one off.
Skill level eroding. I know what you're talking about, man. I get out there and I call it broadcaster rust. But it's definitely something out there. How was the track forming up for you as we get into the 358s here?
I like it. I like a track I can rim right at, and I put it right up on the wall around the track, and that Lima allows you to do that for a good point. I know I had some challenges. I think Nick slid me one time, but just didn't have enough to catch him. I was able to turn under him and get right back around him. So I think the 358s are going to be a little better of a race. You got a little wider tires, so I do think you're going to see more multi-groove than what you did here in the UMP modifieds. So yeah, buckle up. I think you guys are going to be in a treat for that one. That track was racy tonight.
All right, man. I'm excited to see what your 71 can do out there at the 358s and the pro late model. So we also have that division coming up as well. But go ahead and give me your shout outs and let's get you practicing.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Coolray Heating and Cooling. We're getting into the fall and winter season. If you want to get out and check out, get your heater, make sure it's all up to date. Give them a call if you're in the Atlanta area. Also like to thank the Cruise Shop. Go out to the cruiseshopfw.com. Like to thank VMR Wraps. You can find them on Facebook. They can set you up with a wrap. I also like to thank my wife. She allows me to do this, and she's the absolute best. Like to thank my gambler teammates. Without them, I probably wouldn't have nearly as much fun as what I do have. So they're the best. And Patrick, thank you so much for coming on board and being a part of the C2C family.
Oh, yeah, man. I enjoy it. You guys are definitely keeping me busy lately, man. But great job tonight, man. And I'll catch you in the 358s.
Yeah, 10-4, man. Take care.
All right, and that is John Hine. Really, man, he is the one. I'll have him up in the booth a couple times here with me, but tonight I'm gonna let him race. I think I think I may have been causing a little bit of trouble for him to stay concentrated, but have no fear. What I want all you viewers out there to do, concentrate, stay here with me. We'll be right back after the commercials and bring you the 358 division here tonight.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, pro late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
Fantastic, fantastic. I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging around with me to wait after we finish that UMP division. John Hine went ahead and secured the win on that one. His first race win of the UMP division to start out the fall. Really gets the blood flowing there a little bit, makes you feel a little more confident. But right now, moving on here in the Thursday Modifieds, we move to the 358s brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series. Last week, right now, nothing's much changed, especially winner-wise. Isaac Salas has won twice in the past 2 weeks, and right now, per my little ticker here on the outside, he is showing to be the fastest one out there. Just as I say that, Joseph Grandy beats him by 1,000th of a second, but we'll have to see if Isaac Salas has anything for him. Last week ended up being Isaac Salas, Nick Vickery, Randy Shreve, Jeffrey Kemper, and Dean Reynolds, 1 through 5. Grandy ended up in that 6th position, still had a lot of fighting left to do for him. But small block modified 358s is what we're looking for here tonight, and I'm excited to see what these guys can go ahead and put down. We only had about 11, 12 drivers there. We got 17 lined up for this one, so I know everybody's waiting for this as well. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's see what we are expecting here so far. Temperature of 73 down on the track, 82 still in the air. So the fixed 358 division is what we got coming up here at Lima Land. This is awesome. This is awesome. I really appreciate you all joining me here tonight at the Simtrax Broadcasting and the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, tell me what you think about the broadcast. Say I'm a snooze fest, say I'm doing great. I love to read what y'all's comments are out there, and especially if you guys subscribe, you guys can chat with me. You can come up here in the chat, tell me what you think, root for your favorite driver and things like that, so I can see what you guys are saying out there. I do want to keep note. The chat I can only read on my platforms. The one going to the Coast to Coast Racing Network I cannot see, so you guys keep that in mind. As we are here at Lima Land, these guys are going ahead and getting a little more practice time down here. Taking a peek at that 74. Let's see how Isaac Salas is doing. I know he's feeling pretty good about his chances so far. I know we've had a chat with him a few times, and he talks about, he feels he has the 358s down. These are kind of in the bag for him. It's not really as hard as he thinks it would be, which, for some drivers that's kind of silly. This can really take it out of you here. But for him to be able to conquer the 358 so easily, he wants to widen his scope. He wants to look into those Pro Late models and really start putting a good hurting on there. So far in the standings, Isaac Salas, of course, with the 2 wins, has already put him way ahead in front with 170 points in first place. Next closest is Joseph Grandy in second place. He retained into that second place position, but he is behind by 27 points right now. So, and you know, this early in the season, there's still time. Isaac Salas could have a bad race, and Grandy could have a bad race, and this thing could flip-flop there because Randy Shreves in the third position is at 121 points. So he's had one top 5 here and one top 5 for the race. I think he got wrecked out in the first one. As you see, Isaac Salas, I guess, didn't like how much grip he had in those tires, so he's going to go ahead and see if he can smoke them off here. Make him a little more slick for the race. Biggest mover of last week was actually Nick Vickery. Stickers. And I know he moved up all the way into 19th. He picked up 14 spots out of the entire field here. Let's see how everybody's doing out here on the track with our time so far. Joseph Grandy, Isaac Salas, and Vitali. 1, 2, and 3. Couple drivers have couple of drivers I haven't seen too much of out here so far, as Peter Bree here in the 074, and I believe there was one more. I think it was Mike Schultz. I think Mike Schultz is who I'm thinking about. Where is Mike Schultz? I believe Mike Schultz is in the 016, but he may be RC tonight. We'll take an idea at that. Malachi, no penalties for anybody here tonight in the 358 league, so that is definitely good for a lot of these drivers out here. You know, what you see is what you'll get. You know, you don't have some guy qualifying up in the 4th position, starting last. Well, that's going to be some trouble there for them, but not in this one. I believe we have one penalty coming up into the Pro Late models. See if Brandon Templeton can go ahead and get himself another podium position here. I appreciate you guys joining us. I know the Coast to Coast Racing League. I was saying 358s are one. We got a lot of. I know, and I know you guys are kind of thinking like, man, really Coast to Coast. We got 3 divisions here so far, but actually the Coast to Coast Racing League actually has a lot more than that. Taking a peek here, they actually have 16 divisions that race 7 days a week and are currently broadcasting 12 of them. I know I'm doing a bunch of them here so far, a bunch of fill-ins there for Marty Zakala. Monday Night Madness, Thursday Night Thunder. You'll find me on the Gambler Motorsports Tuesdays, the Topside Tuesdays. But if you are out there and you are a racer and you're looking to enjoy racing without all the drama and name-calling and normal iRacing, come out and enjoy the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League. Like I said, they have 16 divisions, 7 days a week, and 12 of those divisions are broadcasters. Members know that they are part of something bigger than just on-track experience. Go to www.c2crl.com and then click apply to join the action. That's where the cars are virtual and the racing is real. Taking a look here at Joseph Grandy in the 518. Right now he is the fastest on the track, but just barely. As Isaac Salas is definitely a fast one out here on the track as well. These two guys putting in a little extra work here. Not too many guys out there on the track right now, just the 3 of them. Grandy, Salas, and Peter Breeze here. Bree, excuse me. 074. Now Peter's hanging out in the 10th position. Grandy number 1, Salas number 2. think that might just do it here. Yes, Stella out there in the chat. There is 30 more minutes of practice, but as soon as I load up, they should be ready to go. I think they were trying to squeeze in a few extra minutes here, to kind of get, you're in the UMPs first, and then we're going to change it to 358s with a lot more power and a little different aerodynamics there toward the back end of the car. So yeah, that's kind of where they end up is time-wise. Yes, it's about a 30-minute window, but they're going to go ahead and cut that off, get us underway. I'll take a look here. Let's see if I can find... No, Aiden Young was really fast. I want to see how well he's doing. Aiden Young sitting in that 7th position. Brandon Templeton right now has the pole. Aiden Young's number 2. Look at that. Slung right up there. Brandon Templeton will qualify 3rd. Grandy. He takes the pole. Where is Mr. Salas? I believe Isaac might just be getting onto the track now, so now he knows what he has in front of him. He has a tall hill to climb here. So for Isaac Salas to continue staying up front the way he has been, he needs to beat a 13-13 here, set by Joseph Grandy. Let's take a watch and see what he has for us here. Ooh. He only runs 1 lap and decides to go ahead and leave it at that. What he's actually doing is, I believe he's actually staging himself for these next couple of heats to have a more favorable position going into that heat. So now is going to be a little bit different angle for Isaac Salas, going ahead and taking that 6th position. I think Peter's out here just getting a few more extra laps kind of tuned in here, make sure he feels well and comfortable here. As we are rounding off, only about 20 seconds left in qualifying, and then we'll move on straight to our first heat. See how they get going here, and you kind of see just kind of the shape of the track here and really how it starts to kind of break down a little bit for where these car drivers can get going. Not too much banking, so that's what we were talking to John Hine about there, is they kind of have to slide up that track a little bit to go ahead and get connected. So let's see if this is going to work for Isaac Salas, as I believe he is not in this heat, not in Heat 1. Nick Vickery will actually start in Heat 1. Up here in the front wheel, Michael Vitale. John Hine waiting for him to load up. There he comes. There he is. All right. Joseph Grandy on the outside of him. Adam Flieger there in the 5 machine. Randy Shreves starting 6th, followed by Paul Thompson in the 337. That's going to be our starting lineup here for Heat 1. And of course, Heat 1 is brought to you by Langton Mechanical. They are second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area and promise their customers their own professionally trained Langton specialists and will be there every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call they make is backed by 100% Langton. Oh, no fear, you got, you get some of these guys to kind of do it kind of so-so, but not Langton. Langton Mechanical is the place to be. And this is brought to you, this whole series is brought to you by that Super Dirt Car Series here, sponsoring the 358s as we get away. Michael Vitale going ahead. Look at John Hine going ahead and trying to squeeze at a 3-wide situation immediately. They're up with Nick Vickery. Obviously, he did not like his qualifying spot, so a little better run here in the heat may work out well for him and get him farther up into the food chain. But it looks like right now, Vickery holding out front. Looks like he may be uncontested here for a little while. John Hines still battling out here with Vitale. Looks like Joseph Grandy is behind him and Randy Shreves after that. I'm not sure if Flieger and Paul Thompson got into it a little bit, but those two guys are way off the pace there by about 5 seconds or so, almost 6 now. I think those two got tangled up, Adam Flieger and Paul Thompson, the 38 and the 337. Maybe if everything boils down, we might be able to go ahead and wind you up a quick replay here. But right now, I want to see if Grandy has anything for John Hine here. That 518 still putting some good work on that 71. Not too much left to go. Only 2 left in this heat. Really starting to stack up on this one. Oh, man. Grandy kind of just playing that game of inches here. He's kind of getting a good run. He really squeezes him. Right there on turn entry. You kind of see him get super close. Is there a top finisher cutoff for these heats? In what way out there? Let's see if I can get to that replay real quick. See what happened. Show me. Yep, right there. Clip Randy Shreves. Actually, the first ones in the heat should go ahead and they should be starting on the respective lines. This may be determining inside and outside lines. Is where they're going to be determining tonight, and who starts in the front and who starts in the back. Alright, that's going to get us started up for Heat 2, brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Let's get right to our guys here. That is going to be Peter Bree, Alex Pomerleau, starting 1 and 2 here. Let's get a little closer, take a quick peek at these guys. That will have Jeff Barker and Aiden Young, 3 and 4. Mike Schultz will be in 6th with Steven Bixler 5th and John Morano 7th. Sorry, these guys switched up on me a little bit here in the back. I think I got a little carried away looking at that 33 orange car there. That looks pretty slick. I like how that looks. Couple of guys out here. I know Aiden Young, he had a pretty good fast time there. Alex Pomerleau. We've seen him in a few races here if you're tuning in yet again. No, the Stella only 4 do not move on. The field is actually small enough for that. Normally your maximum amount of drivers to a feature is 28, and that's actually where we start cutting guys off. What they do is they actually invert the field and send them back out there for the feature. All right, Alex Pomerleau on the outside. Aiden Young connects with him. Boy, Aiden Young kind of getting bumped and banged around here. Trying to find a good line. Aiden Young dropped back. Only about a spot there, but really he kind of got hammered around there a good bit. 5:13 of Jeff Barker working that inside. Doing a little better than he was in those UMPs. And UMPs he was doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden kind of started marching back there. Wonder if the track kind of degrading on him there a little bit kind of had something to do with it. Jeff Barker makes a good shot there with Mike Schultz. 2 of them connected. As they're getting around the track here. Man, this is starting to really kind of pile up to what you see out here on the track. See how Bree and Pomerleau are up here in the lead. So right now, Bree, Pomerleau, Barker, and Schultz, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Continue their way up. Oh man, yeah, and you kind of see everybody kind of taking it real easy here in this heat. No real battles kind of going on here. Everybody kind of just trying to putting around to the end. The feature is where it's going to be, because those guys really kind of stabbing at it and putting the car where it shouldn't be is what I would say. You know, as that's where the racing really starts happening. I believe, and the UMPs, we only had 2 cautions coming into the 358s here. So I expect these guys to be even cleaner, but it's going to be a lot harder racing. Because right now, Peter Bree is still leading the race out front here. We talked to him, saw him before, kind of doing a lot of practice time. But there he is, going in and taking the Heat 2 checkered flag here. So Bree, Pomerleau, Barker, and Young will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bixler, Schultz, and Morano. 5, 6, and 7. So that should go ahead and line us up for Heat 3. And Heat 3 will be brought to you by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. It's a team composed of many of the senior members of the Coast to Coast Racing League. And they've been released from their home to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 more of those dogs are in the race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Let's go ahead and get right to our grid here. Ripka, Morano, Salas, 1, 2, and 3. Brandon Templeton will be 4th. Kemper, 5th. Malachi Smith will actually be starting back here in that 6th position. So he's got some work to do to get his way up front. And David, there he is. All right, he's out there. Toramashi. Hopefully he'll be able to get out there. I kind of saw him loaded up for the UMPs, but he did not compete. So, like I said, out here in the front, Ripka, Morano, and Salas. Guys are looking pretty good. I definitely expect to see right there that 05. Now, it's not just because he's winning a bunch, but it is because he's winning a bunch. Right now, Isaac Salas really on a tear the past couple of weeks. Really giving everybody something to think about. That number 5 car is in the front at all times. So we'll see where Isaac Salas stacks up here. As Morano and Ripka are going to bring us to the green flag here in Heat 3. And away they go. Ripka trying to hold that inside line. But watch Isaac Salas here in the 5. Salas has Brandon Templeton. Ooh! Isaac Salas had to make a massive check up there. Didn't want to. Pushed Ripka. And that just started the accordion effect, collecting Templeton at the same time. At 181, and Jeffrey Kemper pushed him as well. So now, watch this. Here we go. Breakaway here for Salas. He now has it opened up. So once Salas can get opened up on the track here, get himself some distance, now watch him start to reel him in. That 5 car right in the front here by the Super Dirt Car Series all over his car. They definitely know why to sponsor him because he is the man on the move. As you see him squeaking there on the outside. Looking back toward the inside. Interesting line he's running here. Kind of does it, trying to create his own lane. Really pushed the 32 Anthony Morano higher, so now he's going to see if he can squeak in underneath of him. Does he slide up in front of him? Oh, no, not quite yet. Good job there by Isaac Salas not to really cut him off, bend his car up, and he's got him this lap. But we are already over that halfway point. Isaac Salas getting ready to put the moves here on Ripka. Watch this. This is the master at work in that 5 car. Lance Ripka is definitely starting to stare out that driver window there at the mirror, looking at him, kind of creeping up behind him. But do I stay my line? Ripka says yes. Stay his line he will, and let Isaac Salas try to figure out how to work around him. Those two connect, kind of coming out of turn 4 there. But the white flag is out. Will Ripka hold him off? Isaac Salas is, I know him. He's going to try to dive it down in here and 3 and 4 and see if he can slide him right at the bottom. Here he comes, right at the line. Almost. No, Ripka is able to go ahead and beat Salas out. That puts Morano and Kemper 3 and 4. Malachi Smith 5th. Brandon Templeton all the way back to the 6th position. Right, that's going to go ahead and bring us to our 3-minute warm-up. A lot of guys out here on the track starting to kind of, oh boy, what do I do? What do I do? They're getting out here on the track. I'll try to see if we can have a little chat with somebody out here. I want to make sure we have a good idea who our driver of the week is. Our driver of the week is brought to you by the C2C Speed Shop. This is where iRacing meets real racing. There's much to see, so check out all the neat apparel and gifts from the Coast to Coast Racing League and their partners. Go to c2crl.com for more information. All right, let me get right to our driver of the week here. The driver of the week, I believe I mentioned, is still Dan McLaren. Captured driver of the week for that week 2 here. The new one will be named for week 3. Dan McLaren actually started P23 in last week's Rebels race, so that was on a Monday, and drove all the way to P7, passing 16 cars. So from 23 to 7. Honorable mention to Roger Craig, the man, the myth, the legend, who started in 23rd in the Hometown Hero 305 race, and he finished 6th. So he passed 17 cars that week as well. But Dan McLaren wins it out there, so great job by him. Winning the driver of the week. right. If you guys enjoy what you're seeing here, and especially at that Coast to Coast Racing League tomorrow, for Gears Unlimited and the Friday Night Lights, Got Your Six Racing Network with Joe Halter is going to be there at Williams Grove for the 358s, the limited late models, and the 305s there. Starting at 7 o'clock will be Green Flag, and then the following divisions after that. So if you want to tune into those as well, you can for those Gears Unlimited Friday Night Series. Everybody's pretty excited about what's going on here. Oh man, and that's one of those things here in the warm-ups, as we kind of saw there with the 56 machine of Randy Shreves. You know, you get a 3-wide condition during a warm-up. Oh man, last thing I want to do is start bending my car up right before I get going out there. But Isaac Salas has a lot to prove here tonight. From what I'm showing here, he has decided not to take any time out there on the track. He's going to kind of rest up a little bit and get his way out there for the feature, which should be rounding up here momentarily. So I want to make sure we go ahead and give a shout out here for that Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series, showcasing the big block modified premier drivers. From Florida to Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowds. The ground-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beasts of the Northeast. It's the Super Dirt Car Series. Let's go ahead and get right to it. 4-hour race here tonight. Starting out in the front row, Nick Vickery, Peter Bree, starting there 1 and 2. Lance Ripka, Michael Vitale, starting 3 and 4. Alex Pomerleau, Isaac Salas, 4, 5, and 6. John Hines, 7th. Jeff Barker, 8th. Anthony Morano, 9th. Joseph Grandy, 10th. Starting in the 6th row will be Aiden Young. He's starting back here in the back a little bit in the 11th position, with Jeffrey Kemper in the 12th. Go ahead and get to, there we go. All right, and that'll bring us Randy Shreves. All right, Randy Shreves got a lot of work to do back here. Randy Shreves in the 13th, Stephen Bixler 14th, Malachi Smith 15th, Adam Flieger in the 8th row starting 16th, Mike Schultz starting 17th. He's got a lot of work to do here in the back with Brandon Templeton. There in the 18th, Paul Thompson in the 19th, John Morano in the 20th. And we'll say David Tormashke here in the 33 in the back of the field. A lot of guys looking to make a move toward the front here. But they got a lot of cars to get through. We do have 21 out here so far. As Nick Vickery and Peter Bree up here in the front. Kind of give a little zoom out here so you guys can see this full field of cars. Good to see the amount of turnout we have here tonight here at Lima Lamb. As they get underway here. Good moves by these drivers, man. You kind of watch them stacking up here in the back. I want to make sure we don't have anything going too crazy up here in the lead. As Vickery and Bree kind of swapping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Trying to see this 74 if he's got anything for Nick Vickery here that's toward the top. Not quite sure if they're going to be able to make it. No cautions are out yet, so everybody's staying nice and clean, especially there in the back where you can hardly see a thing. Nick Vickery right now 9th in the points coming into this race. Looks like Peter Bree might just beat him out, but Nick Vickery is still hanging on there on the outside. Kind of waiting for that to get going. Whoa, watch Isaac Salas there toward the top. Isaac Salas with a crazy amount of speed going through that last turn. Is now blocked by Michael Vitale in the 213. So Salas still has 25 laps to see if he can go ahead and keep this streak alive, which would then extend him to 3 races, all 3 weeks of this fall season, him winning it here. But he's got a lot of work there in front of him. I believe that is John Heinway behind him, who won our UMP division earlier in the night. 25 laps to go. So once again, look at Salas trying to see if he can open that hole. But once again, here he is with Lance Ripka in front of him, not one to squeeze any little bit on him. 397 and Alex Pomerleau kind of doors him there a little bit. But Isaac Salas is used to kind of getting bumped and banged around here, out here on the dirt. So, you know, he knows what to do. He knows he's got to get pushed around, but that door is starting to close up quick with Pomerleau down toward the bottom right as he gets to that turn entry. He's got nowhere to go, and the 213 kind of hanging him up here. I think he's got a lot more for us. I just don't know if they're going to get squeezed through here. Let's go ahead and rotate back to one of another driver, Aiden Young, who's fighting a 3-wide condition here with Grandy and Shreves. Grandy and Shreves. Ooh, Grandy. All right, Joseph Grandy kind of dialing in behind Aiden Young here in the 69 machine. See if Aiden Young can make it up. He's only picked up 2 spots so far. I think Alex Pomerleau is still battling out here on the outside. 20 laps to go, and I believe Salas is around. That'll bring out our first caution here. Let's go ahead and get right to this one here. Oh, John Hine got into the back of him. No. All right, let's try to take a shot here from our Ace Designs drone view here, and let's take another peek at what. Oh yeah, he just had a whole lot more speed pulling through that turn. I wonder if John Hine was just starting to hook up on this one and getting underway. You know, starting to pick up a lot more speed. So now that's going to push Isaac Salas all the way back to the 21st position. Oh, yeah, that may have done it for him for the night. He's got just so many cars he's got to get through to get his way back to the front. Pace car is off. And Nick Vickery is going to go ahead and get that favorable start. And really, this is what he wanted right there. That way he could get away from Peter Bree here in the 074. Kind of leave him back there. Yep, no battle for me. Nick Vickery holding on there. You see John Hine taking the highest line there toward the outside. Yeah, that's something. Watch these guys kind of separate. Take that low line, we'll take one, you know, and then you got to rotate in the high side, and then they all crunch up right here on the back and the front stretch here, which is, I mean, minimal amount of room. These guys really kind of playing around here in the quarter-mile track here. Oh, John Hine nudges, looked like nudges Michael Vitale there in the 213. I think John Hine, if he bumps that 213 like that, either that top line is hooking for him in a different way that no one else is, or he's going to start plowing his way toward the front. Because these guys can't keep dying out on him. It looks like about mid-turn, everybody's kind of losing that speed, but John continues carrying it through here. Right now, Vickery, Vitale, Bree, Hine, Young. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Still messing around. I don't know if Peter Bree is able to hang on to that low line here. I believe he's going to be overtaken there by Vitale now. Mike Vitale there in now all the way back third. You know, enough speed. Going to pick back second, and then they're going to kind of swap it back again. But it seems that high line just seems to be the way that's working right now. Only 12 to go. Isaac Salas has already battled up from that 21st position into the 16th. So he's on the move. We'll take a look at him as soon as he gets closer toward the front here. Alex Pomerleau, unfortunately, he's dropped back 3 positions so far. Yeah, see, look at John Hine here. Man, he's fast. And Michael Vitale riding around here in second position. He did start 4th, and that'll bring out a second caution here. Look like something may have happened farther back in the track. I believe Mike Schultz may have had a problem here. Let's go ahead and quickly get right to Mike Schultz. Uh-oh. That was pretty obvious. All right, let's take a quick roll back here. What in the world happened here? Let's take a look. Oh, kind of hits the bumps up the wall, and he's eating it. All right, looks like Tony Hawk Pro Skater now doing a wall ride. Oof, still on there. And he's got a toe. Oh, he's got a toe. Oh, no. That is definitely going to put him a few laps down there. So only about 10 laps to go left in this one. give it a good push around. Nick Vickery, Vitale, Hine, Bree, Young, Grandy. And that'll be 1 through 6. And waiting to see if Grandy can go ahead and fight his way up here. Aiden Young up 7 positions so far. But it looks like Grandy, just as I say that, Grandy's around. And Grandy's facing the field. Well, let's get right to it. We saw him kind of go around here. High line, 74 Bree. Bam, Pomerleau kind of sends it right into him, and then the 33 hammers him at the same time. I believe David Tomashki and John Morano connected with him after Grandy got spun out there. If there's a radio and these guys can communicate, I'm sure that one's getting lit up there pretty soon. I don't know if, like I said, it almost looked like that's what John Hine kind of ran into there a little bit, getting behind the 74 car of Bree. And Bree's just kind of checking up in a little bit of a different part of that turn, you know. As they say down there, they kind of back it up a little bit. And then that way they can get a better angle for the turn. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to go back green here just in a little bit. I believe Isaac Salas's streak is over. He has battled up to the 14th position. So even after that last tumble, he's still on the charge. But he'd have to pick up almost a spot per lap to go ahead and conquer, you know, the rest of the field and get his third win here tonight. So that may be, we may be crowning a new victor here as Nick Vickery. Stickers out there in front in the 00. 71 of John Hine still trying to work there on Michael Vitale. Fortunately, a single file restart has given them this option to kind of be able to get a different angle in on Michael Vitale. When they were double wide there, everybody kind of started up and got locked in there pretty tight. But John Hine still trying to see if he can work his way around, but with only a quarter-mile track, this time starts ticking away fast. We only got 6 left to go, so John Hine still aiming for a podium position here tonight, and he may have it. John Hine is actually 10th in the points so far. So definitely a top 3 finish. You know, a podium position is going to move him up higher in the standings here. We got less than 5 to go. John Hine still working 1, 2, and 3. John Hine trying to see if he can try a different line here, but it looks like we are back under caution, unfortunately. And somebody else has gotten turned around, and I believe Mike Schultz may have crashed so bad it has taken him to the pits. So we saw Mike Schultz kind of roll riding before. Uh-oh. Wow. Great job, Nick Vickery. Great job, Nick Vickery. Did you see that? Where he came right up on him and then there was almost no time to really move. But Nick Vickery was smart, heads up thinking there. Getting out of the way of that one. Yeah, once again, like I said, I appreciate all you guys out here joining me for that this Thursday Night Thunder Series. Normally you find me on that Gambler Motorsport, on the Gambler Motorsports Top Side Tuesdays. We run midgets or the wingless 360s. Then we go to the 410 division. And then we actually fitted out with a asphalt NASCAR. We actually got to take these guys off the dirt and put them out there on the track. Some guys very confident. They're versatile. Other guys are, no, I'm just sticking to the dirt. No way. Now let's go ahead and see what they can go ahead and get done here, as Nick Vickery only has about a 3-lap shootout to get it done. John Hine kind of clips the wall out on the outside there. It looks like he may be able to break away. There's already a 4-wide attempt back here with Pomerleau. Seems everybody's getting a little anxious here, as it looks like, I believe, Adam Flieger. Something may have happened to him. Let's take a look. Oop. Oop. Yeah, it looked like he connected with 337 to Paul Thompson and sent him around. just making sure there's nothing else that happened to him, no one else on the track. It says he jumped to the pits, but it looks like he still remains. He is still alive out there in that 38 machine. Unfortunately, I'll move him back to 19th. As soon as my tower goes ahead and decides to calm down a little bit, we'll kind of take a peek at where Isaac Salas has landed. Keep in mind, caution laps do not count here. Isaac Salas is up to the 13th position, so now he's starting to definitely run into some different issues here. John Hine got almost caught sleeping there a little bit there on that outside line. So now Aiden Young's going to put some pressure on him, and he's once again under fire by the 74 of Peter Bree. White flag is out. Now I'm sure Nick Vickery will be happy about that, as these guys are going ahead and really chunking it down to the final couple of turns here. Nick Vickery pulling away with this one, going ahead and getting his, I believe, his first win here in the in the 358 division, followed by Michael Vitale and John Hine. So once again, we're going to be talking to John and seeing what he can get done here. And man, this guy is on the move. John Hine has a great run up into tonight. That'll be our top 18. Vickery, Vitale, Hine, Bree, and Young, 1 through 5. Great job by all these guys. All right, you guys bear with me just a second. We're going to go ahead and see if I can round up all of our guys here. Especially John Hine. He's a tough guy to catch. You know, he always likes hiding from me and trying not to help me out here. And I'm just kidding. Oh man, yeah, great guy to talk to. He's just always hard to get a hold of here. But let's go ahead and catch up with John Hine here in the 3rd place spot. All right, John Hine, I'm talking to you here once again. Have a race win under your belt tonight. Now we got a 3rd place. I'm assuming not a 2nd coming into the Pro Late Models. Yeah, I was going to say, I think we had an eye on you, especially after winning that last one, which you had for us for the rest of the night. And, you know, it looked like you got a little bit in the back of Vitale a little bit. You got bumped Pomerleau a little bit. It's like the middle of your turn was a lot faster than everybody else's.
If you started to get freight trained, that probably would have dropped me back to 4th, 5th, or whatever. So, but yeah, it was really, really tough not to run over anybody in the up in the middle of those corners there. I don't know if I had anything for Nick. I know I was much quicker than Vitale, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
All right, and especially with Peter Bree there on the inside of you, you really know where to go, kind of boxed you in toward that top. But John, once again, man, go ahead and give me your shout-outs here, bud, and let's get you ready for the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, just the usual suspects: Cool Ray, Cruise Shop, VMR Wraps, Gambler Motorsports, my wife. I'd like to give a shout-out to my kids, Danny, Cassie, Dylan. Just another good night and another good race, I should say, and hopefully we'll talk to you here in about another hour or so.
All right. Man, definitely going for the cycle tonight. All right, great job, John, and we'll catch up with you, man.
Yep, take care, Pat.
All right, and that is John Hine there. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Michael Vitale here, who ended up sticking it out in front of John Hine, that was trying to really push him around the track here. Michael Vitale, you got a copy on me?
I got a copy.
All right, bud. This is the first time I've been talking to you. How was Lima Land out there tonight?
I tell you, it wasn't bad at all. It got a little sketchy towards the end on up against that wall, but I tried to do the best I could to hold behind Nick there, and may have tapped it once or twice, but it was definitely a little faster towards the end of the race. I knew early in the race the bottom middle was going to be faster, but I jumped right on the outside and said I was going to hold my line and wait for it to wear down.
All right, man. Really, did you think you had anything for Nick Vickery tonight? I mean, he ran away with it pretty good there. It stayed out front, but nothing.
No, I didn't have anything for Nick, and John was right on my door. I knew if I made one mistake, John was going to get by me. So, yeah, kudos to Nick for that race. He was fast.
All righty. Great job tonight here, bud. Go and give me your shout-outs, and let's try the Pro Late Models next.
Team 4, I got just want to put a shout-out to Morano Racing, Anthony Morano out there, Billy Roberts over there at Gears Unlimited, and you guys, of course, for putting this on every week. You know, we enjoy this.
All right, Michael. Appreciate it, bud. I enjoy watching you race out there, man. So take it easy and keep your head down.
10-4.
All right, Michael Vitale there, dude. This guy is awesome. All right, good to talk to him. First time I've ever talked to him. Michael Vitale there in the 213 seems to have his head on right. He knows what he's got to get done, when to do it, and kind of the right angle there. Everybody talking about really having to defend a lot more than they thought. But, you know, somebody who wasn't having to defend a whole lot, started in front, ended in front, was Nick Vickery here. You know, it started first, ended first, and breaks the streak of Isaac Salas. How's it feel, Nick?
It feels good. You know, the only, you know, after that last race, I had something to prove here. You know, I did blink out. I went back and watched the replay. I blinked out. You know, it just sucks being one of the faster cars on the racetrack and then that happening. So I figured the only way to mitigate that this race was get out front and pull away far enough where if I did blink, I wouldn't be anybody's way. So.
All righty, well, out front you will be. You did place second last week. And here you finally pull away the win. What was, you know, is this your favorite track? Is this, you know, talk me through it here a little bit. How, is this where you like being, or is it, you know, in the shorter tracks, or you like them when they're a little larger?
No, you know, I like tracks like Eldora, you know, tracks that are decently wide but not necessarily long like USA or Williams Grove. But, you know, here at the small track, it really boils down more so to starting position. You know, there in the last race, I was right behind John Hine before my incident, and you know, I started right behind him on the outside row, and the top line happened to be fast. In this race, you know, the bottom was really fast, and honestly, it surprised me. You know, me and I don't remember the guy's name. I think it was Breeze. Me and him ran side by side for almost 10 laps. You know, the bottom was there, and it matched the speed of the middle. And then, kind of late race, you know, the top came in, and I definitely like being on the top more so than being on the bottom. So when the top came in, I knew that I was comfortable up there.
Yeah, definitely saw that. We did watch that battle out there for a little bit. It just seemed like one or both of you really couldn't shake loose, couldn't figure out how to let go, and finally, like you said, the top came in and away you went. But man, we're going into the Pro Late Models. You know, we're gonna see you there, right?
Oh, of course.
All right. How you feeling about going? You know, we're staying at the same track, but how you feeling about going into this? You placed third last week.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I feel like I just need to focus on track position in the heat race to try to get a good starting spot for the feature. You know, I think a lot of this track tonight is going to be follow the leader in these cars. The late models here typically are top side dominant, so we'll have to see how that bottom side wears in.
All right, man. Try and give me your shout outs and let's get you on the way.
I got to shout out Spartan Racing. You know, I owe a lot of that win in the 358 right there to Lance Ripka. You know, we were both running the bottom. I think he was running third or fourth, and then he let me know that the guys passed him on the top, and the top is where we needed to be. So I moved up and was able to bring it home, so definitely got to shout him out for the help there. After that would be VMR Wraps. If anybody out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR E-Wraps. Got to thank Andy over at Cool Ray. You know, Andy does a lot for a lot of leagues, so definitely got to shout him out any chance I can. Got to thank Roger and Preston for putting everything together. And actually, I saw in one of the intermissions earlier that Preston, I guess, just had hip surgery, so definitely wish him the best in a fast recovery so we can get him back out here on the track. And then after that, you know, I got to thank you guys. Like I say every week, I look forward to going back and watching it again.
All right, appreciate it, man. It's sometimes it's harder than it looks, man. But great job tonight, man. And I can't wait to see what the Pro Late Models. I know we go from smaller car to a little bit bigger, and then the biggest one. So it's a good ramp up. You know, you guys get a good feel for the track once it's settling in, and then that way it's not just it's not a major mix-up where it's super fast and we go slow or anything like that. But great job tonight on your first win here in the 358 fall season, man. And hopefully more to come.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, as Nick Sticker Vickery there. really rounding this one up. Appreciate you guys out there. Stellar, where is John? Yes, we also have technical issues up here in the booth as well. Not only did Nick Vickery kind of blink out of the UMPs, but he goes ahead, stays, gets his ping down, and he's able to run these guys down here for this race. But he, but we have a couple technical difficulties up here, so hopefully John can forgive me for that one. Seeing how well he's doing tonight is definitely a possibility that we will see him once again in the booth. But if you guys want to stick around, hang out for just a little while, let's go ahead and catch up with those Pro Late models, and we'll be right back.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Kind of taking a little bit of a warm up here, watching a few of these drivers, see if how they can get around the track, see if little air pressure adjustments need to be made. This will be the final division here of the Thursday Night Thunder Series. We'll have to see what a good look they can get. Originally, we started with the UMPs, John Hine winning that one. Nick Vickery taking away the 358 Super Dirt Car Series. One there. And these guys are going to have another chance to, kind of showcase their moves here tonight and see how well they can do. A lot of guys hoping to try to see if they can prove something and see if they can get their way up toward the front. Let's go ahead and have a little chat about our standings here so far, if you guys have tuned in before. The race winner, so far, every time here in the Pro Late Models has been the 69 car of Aiden Young. He has got his car right now on a rail, the 69 machine out there. I don't believe he is loaded in quite yet. Right now he holds in points. Aiden Young is leading. Nick Vickery in second. Isaac Salas will be third. John Hine will be fourth. Randy Shreves fifth. Grandy sixth. Jeffrey Barker in seventh, tied with Jeff Sharp. So Barker moved up 3 positions and got tied with Sharp, with Dickens in ninth, and Jeffrey Kemper rounding out our top 10. Hoping to see if any of these other guys are going to go ahead and give their shot. Right now, the man really with a lot of luck here tonight so far is John Hine. He seems to be doing quite well out there on the track here so far. Getting a good feel for it, Lima Land seems to be working out pretty well for him. We are actually ahead of schedule here a little bit, kind of seeing how this one's getting underway. These Pro Late Models do get started by 8:45. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me until they were ready to get up here and on the screen. Let's go ahead and have a little look at what we're looking at for tonight. Once again, notice that air temperature is starting to come down a bit, where it's 79 degrees, and the track temperature kind of leveling out there about that 70-degree mark. Like I said, this is going to be our last division here tonight, the Pro Late Model Division. And that'll be brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing. Good run by a lot of these drivers out here tonight. We'll kind of see how it turns out. These once we start getting these big block cars, a lot of different strategies come into play here. Kind of take a look here at kind of what Randy Shreves is fighting here. Definitely an interesting line to see how that one's kind of holding around for him. Right now, Randy Shreves is qualifying in the 5th position. Kurt Schatzer is in the 1st, but this is only practice. These guys haven't quite qualified just yet. Interested to see what all they can... boink. And Randy Shreves back to the trailer. Time to get the hammer out. Who else do we have out there? We got Brandon Templeton. He's still out there. I'm kind of looking at it from that top view here. You can see how Brandon Templeton gets around. Let's see if we take a ride along with him, if I can find his camera, and let's see how his line's looking. Seeing he's placed 3rd here in practice. You definitely see it's a little bit different. He is diving a little bit farther down into the turns. Well, of course, except right here. Man, I always say something a little too early. These guys always want to change their lines. I almost swear they're watching me up here in the booth. But you kind of see the track is starting to break down pretty bad here. And you notice, here even Brandon Templeton's having some trouble keeping it off that top line. No, here, Limaland here, or Limaland, whichever one you want to call it here. You do see the build up here right near the wall over here as we're taking a peek. Definitely a lot of debris out there. These guys trying to get a good run around. Coming down to just about 30 seconds left here, and these guys should fire off and get onto the track, start qualifying here. If I'm not mistaken, now might be a good time to have a chat with some of these guys. As you see, they do have some time on their hands. Is actually when you join here at the Coast to Coast Racing League, you can actually check out their C2C Racing School. That's where their league's top drivers have volunteered to help league drivers improve their driving skills free of charge. They'll be offering help on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and setup advice. So, once again, you go to c2crl.com and you can schedule a session there. And there's Barney up in the booth, waving that checker flag. That is the end of practice. Let's go ahead and get everybody out there on the track. Let's get qualifying here. Brandon Templeton will be the first one on the track right now. Let's see how he feels. Bit of a timer up here so you guys can see who's placing when and where. Ripka's on there, Aiden's out there, Bree is out there, Mike Schultz is out there, Barker, Kemper, and Hine are out there. Let's see who can put down a fast time here as we're watching Brandon Templeton get around here. Like I said, he was third in practice. Let's see where he ends up in qualifying. Bam. Top of the chart with a 12.67. Yeah, do not want to let up after that. Get back down on and keep going. Oof. All right, that is going to do it for him. See if we have anybody else. So let's see where Brian Dickens is. Let's see how he's doing. So he's getting warmed up for his run around here. Hine is showing a solid 5th place. Yeah, really no messing around by a lot of these drivers out here. They are quick to qualify. Right now I have only about 4 drivers who have yet to qualify so far. Right now they are out there on the track. We're watching one of them, Brian Dickens here. Man, he nails a fast time. Crazy. I mean, look at the time of the top 3 guys. There we go. There we go. He broke the streak. They were all at 12.67 here. Look at that. Steven Spies. Last week, actually, taking a look at last week, Aiden Young came in first. Schatzer second. Vickery third. John Hine fourth. Spies fifth. Templeton 6th, Isaac Salas 7th, Lance Ripka 8th, Jeffrey Barker 9th, and Zachary Chapman 10th. I do not see Zachary Chapman out here tonight. These guys have about 30 seconds to round this up, so what you guys see on the screen is what we are looking at tonight. So far, 15 drivers are locked and loaded here for that Pro Late model. I do not see Robert Lynch out here tonight. I think he did a little bit of racing on Tuesday. When I saw him in the 410s. And then in the NASCAR. They were at Michigan. They didn't do too bad. They're at Michigan. And that is going to go ahead and round us off here. Qualifying has completed. Like I said, this series will be brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing. All right, once again, and Langton. Let's go ahead and get our heat results up here. on the front. Jeffrey Kemper 1. Kurt Schatzer will be in 2nd. Brandon Templeton 3rd. That'll put Steven Spies in the 4th position. Aiden Young 5th. Lance Ripka 6th. Jason Sams nailing it here in the 7th position. Not followed by Mike Schultz in the 16 there in the back of the field. Steven Spies, good to see him out here. Haven't seen him all night. Fortunately, we'll have a good battle for him up toward the front. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. Looking to put down a mean green time. Pace car lights are off, so these guys are about to duck on. Pace car's about to duck on off here. And Jeffrey Kemper is going to bring us to the line. Here we go. Starting off our Pro Late models on the Thursday Night Thunder. Week 3, here we go. Jeffrey Kemper does a good slide job there, gets in front of Kurt Schatzer and really blocks him out there. But let's see if that high line is going to be where you want to stick to. And it is. 181 of Jeffrey Kemper showing how to stay out front. That is working out quite well for him. Steven Spies trying to stay there on the outside. Man, cuts off Brandon Templeton there. Actually straightened the turn there a little bit. Brandon Templeton kind of switches it up here. Watch out for Spies. Oh, the 181. Jeffrey Kemper, after a nasty turn, files all the way back into the 5th position. Once again, out there, Stella, if you're still watching, there are only 15 drivers, so no cutoffs. It's okay. Guys are getting back out there, trying to push their way around already at the halfway point of the heat. Brought to you by Langton Mechanical. Kurt Schatzer starting to put a clinic on here. He's already separated by half a second off Steven Spies here. Steven Spies in the 2nd position. Brandon Templeton looking toward his inside, but is not going to get it now on that turn as he relocked and loads and tries one more time here. With only 2 left to go. Be 1 at the line. Barney, get that flag ready. There you go. Barney's now waving that white flag up in the flag stand there. Steven Spies looks like he's retaining that 2nd position. Brandon Templeton 3rd. Aiden Young trying his best to pedal his way back forward. And he's going to nail in the 4th position. Kemper back to the 5th. Sam 6th. Ripka 7th. And Schultz, I think, may have had a problem later on there in the race. So that is going to bring up our 2nd heat. Our 2nd heat brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Let's get to that grid. Peter Bree, we saw him before doing a really fast time there with Nick Vickery. There on the outside, Joseph Grandy starting 518 car in 3rd. Brian Dickens in the 4th position. Looks like John Hine in the 5th. Randy Shreve 6th, and Jeff Barker starting in the back of the pack in 7th position. John Hine has a lot of luck. He's been running here so far tonight. Trying to see if Joseph Grandy's doing all right there. If I'm not mistaken, per the rules here tonight, I believe Joseph Grandy is actually serving a penalty here tonight. He is the only one for the night. Joseph Grandy will have a heat EOL for a fault at the A main lap 12 incident that he had with the, I believe, the 72 car he had last week. So he is the only penalty for tonight. So he is actually going to start from the back of the pack here. And away they go. All right, Nick Vickery trying to see if he can do the same way he did back in those 358s. Nasty move there by John Hine in the 71. We kind of saw him kind of almost straighten out in the turn there a little bit. Got connected with another driver. Unfortunately able to get it back under control. But Hine in that 3rd position. This may be out of reach for him to kind of get caught up here. Nick Vickery putting on a clinic right now with a 2.53 is his fastest time. Yeah, he almost has it, but once they get to that straightaway, Peter Bree is having a heck of a time now. Remember, oh no, John Hine is around. A little bit of throttle control there. Uh-oh. Alright, and hopefully we will catch back up with John Hine. I know I've talked to him before, and he's had some VR issues lately. He will have a little bit of time to go and get that straightened out. He is out of the heat so far, so he will place 7th, so it is really going to put him on the back foot coming these next 30 laps. Looking good here on the front of Peter Bree's car there. Looks like he's got rocking the Joker. Looking good, but really not joking around out there on the track. He's still trying to run down Nick Vickery there, but Vickery still putting on a lot of distance on him here as he's coming up to the checkered flag. Nick Vickery's going to take it away. Peter Bree 2nd, Dickens 3rd, Jeff Barker in 4th, Grandy ended up 5th with Randy Shreve 6th, and John Hine may have had a mechanical issue and is out it for this one. So he's got a little bit of time here in the warm-up to go ahead and kind of square it away here. I think we want to make sure we give a good mention out there to the Steve King Foundation. Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to the drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. So, unfortunate accident happened there with Steve King there in Knoxville, but foundation is now trying to help take care of everybody else out there. That way nothing ever comes about for them. So far here in the heat, guys are putting down some pretty good times. Speed's right now fastest on the track. I figure the longer this sets in, I wonder if this is going to start kind of creeping in on some of these drivers here. If they'll be able to kind of calm it down, you know, get it squared away, get in a good angle, and put their best foot forward. I know John, like I said, hopefully his VR can go ahead and get collected up here. Just a little throwback there. Want to make sure you guys know that Malcolm's Mill Riding Replays, that's who is our sponsor for all our replays that you guys have seen tonight. Malcolm Mills is based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Malcolm's Mill Riding is a full-service mill riding contractor featuring custom welding, fabricating, and servicing industrial clients. Visit them at mmlmillriding.com or on Facebook. That'd be something to keep in mind out there, especially I know I have some custom welding jobs I might need done. So Nick Vickery, he's still out there running pretty fast, so his streak continues. All right, a little move here from John Hine. Looks like he has reconnected, so he survives. We saw him straighten out in that heat and kind of get a little bit of a pile up there, and then it almost looked like he disconnected mid-race. So, looks like John is back out there, and he'll have really a deep hole to kind of climb out of here going into this one. Warm-up is now completing. Take one more time. Thank you guys for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting. Here at the Coast to Coast Racing League, really trying to put on a good show for you guys. But let's go ahead and get that grid up here right now. Kurt Schatzer and Nick Vickery starting out 1 and 2. Row 2 is going to be Steven Spees and Peter Bree. Brandon Templeton and Brian Dickens are going to be in row 3. Row 4 is going to be Aiden Young and Jeff Barker. So he's be in the 8th position. Jeffrey Kemper 9th. Joseph Grandy 10th. That'll be your 5th row. Your 6th row will be Jason Sams and Randy Shreves. This guy's got a good ways to go here. With Randy Shreves being in 12th, that's going to put Lance Ripka and John Hine back in the 7th row. And finishing out the field will be Mike Schultz. Now, like I said, John Hine has a heck of a hill to climb here. If he thought the 358s were tough, he's going to have a tougher time here in the Pro Late Models, getting his way toward the front. So we'll see how well John can do out here. All right. These guys are getting squared up for that green flag coming up here. And just kind of put it in perspective, let's get a little zoom out here. You notice how these Pro Late Models just take up so much more room on this track as these guys bunch up for the green flag here. Schatzer Vickery out in front. I know Vickery's going to want to hang that high line and really push his way around here and see if he can go ahead and get that lead. But man, Templeton right there on the inside line. Gutsy move by them. I think there's probably going to be a stack up there toward the back of the field. As it looks like everybody's kind of settling out here a little bit. I'm not sure if Jason Sams, there we go, we just got to it. And it looks like they are not going to call a caution here. See, something's going on with John Hine. I don't know if something broke here. Get back up front to another driver up here in the 69 car, Aiden Young, up in the 8th position. Right now he's only lost 1 position so far, so hopefully he's able to kind of realign and charge his way back up front. We saw the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper super fast in that heat. And I believe that is Brian Dickens in the 122, so a lot of battling for those guys toward the front. I know we got Peter Bree up here trying to battle it out with Kurt Schatzer for the 2nd position. 74 kind of showing you that inside line can still hold and stick to it. But it seems he's got a better 3 and 4 than a 1 and 2 here. Man. Yeah, that's 74, that's 74 car of Peter Bree. Doing a good job. He's trying to work on it here. Oh, they made contact. Looks like Steven Spees made contact back there. And Spees has now moved up into the 3rd position. Looks like he kind of bumped Kurt Schatzer out of the way there a little bit. Definitely a drop-off. Spees has got about a second to make up here on Vickery. 21 laps left to go in this race here. Final division of the night. We're already a third of the way through. And Vickery still owning it here. This seems to be his track. As long as he can stay clean, I think he's coming up on some lap traffic here. If I'm not mistaken, it might be John Hine or Jason Sams here he's starting to catch up to. They're in the 911 car. So I got to watch out. John Hine not having a good time out here so far. Already a lap down. Trying to maintain. Like I said, he probably had some technical issues before. And the pain just continues. And we are out to our first caution. Looks like Jeffrey Kemper has bent it. And he is already in pit. I mean, that's pretty bad when you get burned out that much as it connects with Aiden Young here. Oh, boy. Oh, dude. Dude, he actually flipped. You see Aiden Young get turned around. But Aiden Young is able to survive, and around he goes up onto his top. Jeffrey Kemper immediately to pit. A lot of damage to that 181 there. Yeah, that is not supposed to be in that configuration. So that may do it for Kemper here tonight. And taking him out of contention. Still, Vickery, Spees, Peter Breeze up here in the front. Schatzer there on the outside. Good runnings by a lot of these drivers out here. Man, you look at that and you see Nick Vickery. I mean, immediately right on the gas. 4 tires off the off the racing surface. It's go time. And away he goes. Getting a great start right now. Steven Speed's just trying to hold on to him. Not really having as much of a slide angle that you see Vickery has here. Vickery's, you know, keeping his nose pretty tilted toward the infield, and Speed's not so much. Kind of racing around here. Not as much digging in, so Speed's... Yeah, here we go. Speed and Bree here. For a third. Looks like Brandon Templeton's about to be under fire here in a little bit. Looks like he's already starting to see Randy Shreve's kind of creeping up on the outside there. Things are calming down, but Shreve's still battling out here with Brian Dickens in the 122. He's holding that bottom line there pretty well. Keep an eye up there toward the top, see if Spees is catching up to Vickery. It does not seem so. Brandon Templeton, ugly turn on that one. And I think it shows that we may have another caution here by Barker. Oh, 311. There's no way that caused the yellow flag. Let's see what happened to John Hine back here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. How is it still running? Whoa. As I always say out there in the chat, show me that again. Pinch. Boom. That thing bucked him right off the track, up into the fence, and around he goes. John Hine now in a lot of even more trouble now. Yeah, I believe John Hine's luck, unfortunately, has run out. All right, Nick Vickery going to go ahead and take us away once again on another restart. He'll have 12 to go on this one. Almost at 2/3 mark, but he is still battling his way up toward the front. Spees, you know, was only behind by half a second. Not too much, still within striking distance. So Vickery knows he can't really slouch on this track. He's got to keep his way forward and getting up there closer and closer to the wall, trying to see if he can find something to stick to. This track is slicking up pretty good for some of these drivers. Some drive better in the tacky part, and others just have to mess around where the rubber has met the dirt, and they kind of formed a solid sheet there. But they're still battling up here toward the front. Spees keeping it close, but yeah, Spees and Bree here. Boy, they're going to get me a tongue twister here. Vickery, Spees, and Bree here, 1, 2, and 3. Battling out here with only 8 to go, but once again, we are back under caution. I believe this one may have had Brandon Templeton involved. Let's take a look here at the 31, getting on the inside, Randy Shreves, Aiden Young. Ow. Ow. Yeah, I think Brandon Templeton's night is done. That was a brutal hit. That was a brutal hit. Let's take another look at it. Wow. Yeah, I'm not so sure on this one. I want to see the contact between him and Aiden Young. The two of them just kind of shooting for the same spot on the track, and it just collects them both. Brandon Templeton, you see the smoke coming out from underneath that hood, so Az is going to do it for him tonight. John Hine is out of the race here, but we are back under green. Nick Vickery, where we start single file, and look, kind of caught Bree sleeping there. As he gets away by only 0.3 of a second. Spees only back by another second behind, still off the lead. I believe we only have about 11 cars still on the lead lap here. Still making good moves. I believe Brandon Templeton may have been able to use a faster pair. He might be back out onto the track, but he is going to be laps down. I mean, laps down. So he's got a long way to go to get this one collected back up. I think Grandy also got caught up in that wreck as well. We saw him kind of bounce off Templeton there. As Grandy's back down into the pit. We only got 4 laps to go left in this one. And you're starting to see that, the Knight wearing down on Vickery here. He's getting up into the bumps and it's starting to cause a little bit of trouble. So now he may have to kind of second guess what he's doing. So definitely starting to put some distance on the field. Almost a second gap now, which is exactly what he wants. That way he can have a little room to breathe. But he's still trying to push his way away. Not much place to go. Right now, it looks like Vickery's going to go ahead and bring home the win here. Spees and Bree are still fighting for who's going to be higher in the podium tonight. But look at Aiden Young up 3 positions into the 4th, trying to look from the outside looking in, but I don't think he'll have enough for it. Does Spees shoot it out here toward the end? And he does. He beat him. 8 thousandths of a second. Spees beat him. That was close. That was definitely close. Good run by all these drivers out here tonight. Appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to go ahead and round up our podium finishers here tonight. Let's have a little chat and see what they had to say and what, kind of a good angle coming into this one. This is definitely going to help out Nick Vickery as he was sitting there in second place. 2 streaks have been broken tonight. First, the 358's Isaac Souse wasn't able to make it, and tonight Aiden Young's streak ends here in the Pro Late Models. Nick Vickery finally gets it. He had 2 top 5s in those races. Aiden Young had those wins as well. And now Nick Vickery goes ahead and pulls out the win here tonight. And really kind of commands the night as he got away. So let's have a chat with Peter Bree here. And that is who I am looking for. Alrighty, Peter Bree. Do you got a copy? Alrighty. I am saying your last name right? Oh my god, do I even ask somebody? Alright, I'm sorry about that, bud. Alright, 3rd place finish here for you tonight. You definitely put on something to think about there in the 358s. Here you are getting a podium position tonight in the Pro Late Models. Was the track to your liking tonight? Did it break down on you at all?
Really stuck to the bottom a lot more because my train of thought there was a lot of guys were running the top, so the only way I'm getting ahead is if I run where they're not. But right at the end there, I kind of lost some bite coming off the corners when the track slicked off.
All right, man. Fantastic job here tonight. Really, you come away with this one. You can. I'm trying to figure out. Are you going to be running the Pro Late Models from here on out? Are you feeling pretty confident in them?
Oh, yeah. I like running the late models a lot. Same with the 358s. I have a lot of fun running all the cars and running with all this group of guys. Like, I'll run each other real clean, and it's always a blast.
All right. So, well, next Thursday, we're looking at the 6th of October. You guys are going to be at Lucas Oil. Have you, knowing that's a new track, you feeling pretty confident about or have you practiced there before?
I actually just ran there last night with the Hometown Heroes group in the big blocks, and we ran a couple of sprint car races there, and the track has a lot of room to race. It's real racy and a lot of lanes even when it slicks off. So a little bit like this as far as being real racy is a lot of fun.
Okay. All right, bud. Well, go ahead and give me your shout-outs and let's get you packed in for the night.
Sounds good. Yeah, I always got to thank the wife for letting me come out and race whenever I can. Also got a ABR setup shop, Wabam detailing products. Go to getwabam.com for all their products for some nice detailing stuff. You guys for doing the broadcast, and Coast to Coast for putting on a great league every week.
All righty, bud. Appreciate you coming out here tonight. Peter Bryce, right?
That's right.
Okay, Peter Bryce. I'll get that down, bud. I promise. All right, Peter Bryce in the 74 car here tonight. Really putting on the clinic. 3rd place finish. Good job, bud.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
All right, Peter Bryce. It is And, originally I can't say much. I used to think this was Steven Spies, but dummy that I am, Steven Spies is how you say it. 55 car coming in second place tonight. Steven, did you have anything for Nick Vickery out there tonight?
I think I did kind of mid-race. I was hoping because Peter was down there on the bottom. I didn't really have anywhere I could go that I felt would work to try to get a pass going on Nick. So my hope was that the top would just keep working. We might get a little gap and then have a chance to make a move towards the end of the race. But we had some late race caution there and some driver error getting on the wall. Just kind of put me back where I didn't have a chance anymore. So, Nick ran good, kept it clean up there, didn't really make any big mistakes, so congrats to him.
All right. Well, you are one race down from everybody. This will be only your second race out of 3, and once again, you are another top 5 finish here. You're in the second place. We're heading to Lucas Oil next Thursday night for this same league. How you feeling about Lucas Oil Speedway?
I think I really enjoy that track so far in every car I've driven, really. So hopefully I'll be available and make it because, like I said, I really enjoy racing it. It seems to race really well. You can get some multiple grooves, and you don't have a wall that people are bouncing off of. So it'll be a good time regardless.
All right, Steven. Fantastic job tonight. And if I remember, I think I tuned into my last broadcast, and I think I've done it to you 3 times, but I'm not doing it tonight. This time I'm going to ask you for your shout-outs, and you can take your time this time. Because, like I said, I think I messed it up, and I told you have a good night, and away you went. So go ahead and give me your shout-outs this time, man.
No worries about that. I'm just here for fun. I'm not out here trying to get sponsored or anything else. I mean, I'm happy to take somebody's money if they think I can give them some publicity that works. But I just have a good time running with the Gambler Motorsports teammates. And we get to often run with Andy Piercefield from Coolray whenever he joins in. So we always have a good time, and thank him for everything that he does for the league and just for kind of being a good guy and hanging out with us. So that's all I'm really looking to shout out, and I always like to say thanks to all the people that do watch the broadcast back, whether it's, all of us silly guys just wanting to see how we did, or if it's, friends and family or just people that, have picked up and liked the league, and hopefully we put on a good show for them. We appreciate it.
All right, bud. Steven Spies, great job tonight, man. And let me tell you, I think per my ticker here, you only beat out Peter by about 60 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, I knew it was close. We were pretty even, I think, on the backstretch all the time, but luckily the start-finish is just a little bit down track, so I was getting good runs off of 4 versus what he was getting, and just getting a nose there. But like I said, hopefully it was a good show, and now you can go talk to Nick and tell him that you knew I was faster and asked him how he was blocking me.
Oh, okay. I will. Don't think I won't.
Thanks.
All right, Steven. Good job tonight, bud.
Thanks.
All right, Steven Spies, everybody, and really a little jokester at the end. I love it. But really, once again, multiple winner here tonight. This guy has got it. This guy has got it. Obviously, this is Nick Vickery's track here. Nick, let's start with this. How did you come about, really blocking out Steven Spies there, since you knew he was faster on the track?
Look, I was like a school bus. I threw up my stop sign and tried to keep him back there.
All right. He's telling me that he was running you down, man. But, man, you had that thing on a rail tonight. That thing just, no matter what you did, you were able to do it. You clipped it off the wall a couple times to see a little bent there in the back. You must have gotten up in the mountains that forms up along the wall. But you just seem to have that thing on, just where you wanted it, when you wanted it. And now, not one league, but now 2 leagues you conquered tonight here at this track. Really, what's the secret to it, man?
I don't know. Me and Speeds were talking in the waiting room. I told him, I felt like I was holding him up. He was way, way faster than I was in 1 and 2. And I don't know what it was about the track tonight, but I really struggled to see where the slick spot was coming off 2. It's really dark in that corner. There's a lot of shadows. And he was just killing me in 1 and 2. But, it's kind of like I said in the first interview, it's a lot about this track is starting position. And I was able to start on the outside of the front row. And, as we saw all night, the top side was fast in these cars, and hats off to Breeze for running the bottom, man. He was killing it down there. And, I hadn't seen anybody really contest the top like that running the bottom in these cars, and I don't think I've ever seen it. So definitely hats off to him for running a good race too.
Yeah, that you did, and like you were saying with Peter Bryce down there, he was doing something, man. He seemed to have it, and it's just I wouldn't say he was a thorn in everyone's side, but he definitely gave you something to think about. He was in a line you wouldn't expect, holding the same position from you to only able to block or you only being able to run one line tonight, and really fantastic job he did there on the bottom. Lucas Oil is where we're at next Thursday for this division. How confident you feeling about Lucas Oil, man?
See, it's one of the newer tracks, and I think isn't that where the Hometown Heroes is this season? I think it is.
Yes.
So it'll be really interesting to see. It'll almost feel like Lernerville. Lernerville doesn't have that wall that you can lean on, and here, you mentioned the right rear quarter. That's not going to happen at Lucas Oil. So we'll have to see if we can keep it on the racetrack and try and get a good starting position. All these guys in this league are fast, so you got to be on your P's and Q's if you want to finish up front. And I think a lot of that starts with the starting position.
All right, man. And dude, starting actually, you were in second in points, with Aiden Young actually finishing fourth, a non-podium position. This will get you your first race win, and you were only about 9 points behind him. So I think this might sling you into the points lead here. But how do you keep focused going into the next week?
I don't know. You got to kind of disassociate any sort of frustration or any sort of anger you have from the previous week. Like going into next week in the UMPs, I'm going to be a little upset because I felt like I should have finished further up front, but because of my poor internet service, that wasn't an option tonight. So I got to kind of block all that out of my head and just really race week to week, and then hopefully come the end of the season, I'll be where I need to be.
Yeah, and also something floating in the back of your mind. I hate to kind of pour hot sauce in the wound here, but you may have had a 3-race streak. You could have done a clean sweep for tonight. But yeah, I mean, things happen, mechanical issues happen. I mean, heck, we even see John Hine, that poor guy, dude. He wrecked once, not twice, but I think 3 times, and I think one of them was even a VR problem in the middle of a heat. But it happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. But Nick, go and give me your shout-outs here, bud. Let's go. Let's get it packed in for tonight.
Definitely got to shout out Spartan Racing. Definitely got to shout out Lance again for coming in and hanging out and running some races with me tonight and pulling off. I think he pulled off 3 top 10s tonight. So that's definitely nothing to hang his head about. Some good runs tonight. And after that would be VMR Wraps. If anybody out there needs a wrap, come check us out on Facebook at VMR E-Wraps. Again, got to thank Andy over at Cool Ray. He does a lot for everybody. So got to shout him out any chance I can get. Got to shout out Mr. Joe Halter at Got Your Six Racing Network. They put on a really good show on Friday night. So if you don't have anything to do with the family or anything and you're looking for something to do on Friday night, definitely go check out Friday Night Lights with Joe Halter. After that would be Roger and Preston for, kind of creating this monster that we call Coast to Coast and for really keeping up with it overall, all these years. And like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to going back and watching this tomorrow. So got to shout you out as well.
Cool. All right, bud. Well, obviously, I'm starting to be here a lot more often than even I thought, man. But I enjoy watching you guys race, especially, with out there with Marty as well. He gets pretty excited about calling you stickers. I know that's for sure.
Yes.
So, all right, Nick Vickery, great job tonight, man. And I'll catch up with you in another race, I'm sure.
All right, sir. Have a good night.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, that is Nick Vickery there, and really, he's the man. He's the man here tonight. He won 2 out of 3 races, but he could have had that third. But things happen, and there's no shame in that. Man, this was definitely a wild one here tonight. Here at Simtrax Broadcast and the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Appreciate you guys joining us here. We did see the UMPs, we saw the 358s, and we saw the Pro Late Model Division. Friday Night Lights at Got Your Sets Network is tomorrow. That's going to be a good one there. Don't forget to tune into them. That'll be brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing, I believe. And I believe next time you guys will see me is actually back on the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesday. We'll be there for the midgets, or actually the wingless this time. We'll be there for the wingless, the 410s, and the NASCAR series. We'll be racing actually at Charlotte for the NASCAR series. That one's it really switches it up for those guys. We've been super speedways, and then we're going a little bit smaller. So if there's one to catch, if you ask me, that's definitely one you want to see. But all the dirt racing here is great at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. Be well, be safe. keep your nose to the ground and don't get in trouble, guys. Have a good night.